The CBSE board declared the results of class 12. 99.37% of students cleared the examination using a special formula. India reports 44,230 new cases in the last 24 hours, the highest in 3 weeks, as cases rise in Kerala, Maharashtra and Karnataka. In Maharashtra, government is planning major relaxations for the fully vaccinated. They will be allowed to use the local trains, hotels, malls and cinema halls. And the Assam police now issues summons to 6 top Mizoram officials in connection to the Monday firing case. A stretch of highway is seen collapsing as a hillside crashes down in dramatic visuals of a landslide that took place in Himachal Pradesh. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Our top story, the CBSE board declared the results of class 12 today afternoon. This year, 99.37% of students cleared the examination, though we must tell you here that the examination was cancelled because of the pandemic, and the CBSE board declared the results by evaluation from a special formula.
A filmy way to announce the school leaving results of a very dramatic year. Students were both excited and anxious. Almost all the 12th grade students, 99.37% of the 14 lakh of them, have passed, based entirely on internal assessment marks. The board exam was cancelled because of the terrible second COVID wave. In comparison, the pass percentage last year when exams were held was far lower at 89%. Some students were not satisfied with the results.
उम्मीद थी उसके हिसाब से तो रिजल्ट हमारा ख़राब रहा है क्योंकि ज़्यादा के लेके आएंगे नहीं, हमारी 80+ की उम्मीदें थी, तो उस हिसाब से हमारा रिजल्ट आया नहीं है.
I got my results today and I'm not very happy with it. I expected more, to be very honest. I would have been satisfied if CBSE would have taken the exams offline or online.
The board, CBSE, had a 40 plus 30 plus 30% formula for evaluation. 40% weightage for the 12th standards tests and exams, 30% weightage from the 11th standards final examination, 30% weightage to marks in best of 3 in the 10th standard.
ऐसा रिजल्ट ना कभी पहले आएगा और हम ऐसा चाहेंगे कि इस तरह का रिजल्ट कभी ना ही आए भविष्य में, तो सभी के लिए अच्छा होगा. जहाँ तक इसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी का सवाल है, मैं कहूँगी कि ये रिजल्ट जो स्कीम ऑफ असेसमेंट था वो काफ़ी रिलायबल, अनबायस्ड था, ट्रांसपेरेंट था और वैलिड भी बहुत था.
पढ़ाई बच्चों की ही वो ऑनलाइन माध्यम से ही हुई और जो परीक्षाएं भी हुई वो भी ऑनलाइन माध्यम से ही करानी पड़ी, जिसमें काफी चैलेंज था.
Students who were not satisfied with the assessment stand a chance to take the examination in August. With Saurabh Shukla, Chetan Bhattacharjee for NDTV.
Now, colleges in Karnataka have returned to life with students back on campus as the state opens up in many different areas. But there is a strong sense of caution. All staff and students have to be vaccinated before being allowed back. Maya Sharma reports.
Students back on Karnataka college campuses. And most of them seem relieved to be able to interact directly with faculty and with each other.
I'm an architecture student. Okay. So for us, basically, we lead a lot of practical, site visits and all. So we have missed our trips.
COVID case numbers, though much lower than the peak, are still a cause of concern.
There is a spurt of COVID cases in Kerala. So we have got 3 border districts and I have talked to all the 3 deputy commissioners to be on the alert.
Students had returned to campus ahead of the devastating second wave, which forced a retreat to online classes. This time, staff and students are only allowed on campus if vaccinated. Special vaccination drives were held for this purpose.
We have taken precautions in terms of organizing vaccination camp. We had 2 vaccination camps as of now, and most of our students are vaccinated.
The family was cool if you're coming back?
At start they were like a bit stressed, but then we convinced that offline would be very helpful.
Okay.
So we convinced them and we are here.
Online classes are still an option.
A third wave of COVID is expected in Karnataka as elsewhere, but things are opening up and students are back on college campuses. A sense of relief for them
After months of online classes, they feel it's just not the same. So, with precautions in place, students back on the campuses of Karnataka. With Nandakumar, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
And with COVID numbers showing a dip, Maharashtra is planning major relaxations after the Chief Minister met with the COVID task force in the state. However, the biggest worry ahead of reopening is the recent spike in cases in states like Kerala. But with the government looking to balance life and livelihood, relaxations are to be announced. Local trains will be open for the fully vaccinated population. Hotels, malls and cinema halls to be opened for the fully vaccinated citizens as well. And shops will also be allowed to open with norms on the weekends. Now, India reported 44,230 new cases of coronavirus in the last 24 hours. That's the highest in 3 weeks. Deaths reported were 555, which was down 13.28% from the previous day. Vaccinations that have taken place are 48.43 lakh. That's down 1.32%. And daily positivity rate is currently at 2.44%, which remains below 5%. So worrying news for COVID, as cases are the highest in over 3 weeks. But more than that, a key number known as the reproduction number has hit 1. The R number indicates the spread of the infection, and that above 1 cases rise and below 1 the pandemic shrinks. The biggest weapon apart from masks and social distancing we have is vaccinations. But if you take a look at the daily doses, the daily average is about 45 lakh, which is less than half of what's required to vaccinate a sizable proportion of the population by the end of the year. Welcome back. Mizoram's Chief Minister has said Northeast India will always be one. But his Assam counterpart has issued an advisory asking people not to travel to the neighbouring states since people there, civilians, carry AK-47s. The two northeastern states are blowing hot and cold at each other days after a gunfight between their police forces on the border left 6 Assam cops dead. Both also accuse each other of reinforcing their firepower on the border that is calm but still very tense.
Putting into words today what his government's advisory to Assam's people said on Thursday, not to travel to Mizoram.
আমি মানুহক যাব বাধা দিয়া নাই আমি এডভাইজারি দিছো এডভাইজারি মানে পৰামৰ্শ যেতিয়া এখন ৰাজ্যত সিভিলিয়ানৰ হাতত AK-47 থাকে স্নাইপাৰ ৰাইফল থাকে তেতিয়া সেই ৰাজ্যত আপুনি আমাৰ মানুহ কেনেকৈ যাব দিব যেতিয়ালৈকে চৰকাৰে সেই আৰ্মছ বিলাক জব্দ নকৰে
Vehicles entering Assam from Mizoram are to be checked for drugs, Mr. Bishwa Sharma said. The Mizoram CM's response, a tweet saying the northeast would remain one. No curbs on non-residents entering Mizoram's Kolaship district that borders Assam's Kachar, he said, and warned locals not to harass outsiders. But scenes like this are not helping. Assam police in a bulletproof vehicle some distance from the troubled border where 6 Assam policemen were killed on Monday. Mizoram's Home Secretary has asked Delhi to tell Assam not to bring reinforcements.
MHA की डायरेक्शन से हम लोग बॉर्डर से पीछे हट गए हैं बट मिजोरम साइड से भी मिजोरम पुलिस बॉर्डर पे तैनात है MHA का डायरेक्शन फॉलो करना चाहिए जब डायरेक्टिव है कि दोनों रिस्पेक्टिव फोर्सेस मूव आउट करेंगी बॉर्डर से और CRPF टेकअप करेगा आई थिंक कि इनको भी मूव आउट करना चाहिए.
In Parliament, the Assam travel advisory turned into opposition ammunition to corner the centre.
और आंतरिक ये जो एडवाइजरी इशू कर रहे हैं इसका मतलब यही है कि होम मिनिस्ट्री अपने कर्तव्य में फेल हो चुकी है.
For Assam, the focus right now is on the investigation into last Monday's incident. In fact, the Assam police team, which flew to New Delhi to serve notice to Mizoram's Rajya Sabha MP, could not find him at his residence, and therefore the team pasted the notice at his gates. Meanwhile, sources from Mizoram are indicating that since even essential supply trucks are not plying from Assam, therefore the Mizoram government is now trying to open up alternate routes from Tripura and Manipur. It seems that the crisis is far from over. With inputs from Dali Fanai in Azol, in Guwahati, Ratnadeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
And in the latest development, the Assam police has issued summons to 6 top Mizoram officials in connection to the Monday firing case. Let's go across to Ratnadeep for more on this. And Ratnadeep, so this is the latest, development in this tension between the two states.
Gargi, in fact, what we can confirm to our viewers is that in connection to the case that Assam police registered because of the killing of 6 of its policemen in the firing that took place at the Assam-Mizoram border on Monday, now Assam police has issued notice to Mizoram's Rajya Sabha MP Vena. In fact, a team of Assam police personnel, including CID personnel, had flown to Delhi, but for about 2 days they tried to meet the Rajya Sabha MP of Mizoram. But what we are picking up from top police officials is that team from Assam police could not meet the Rajya Sabha MP. He was not found in his residence, and therefore the team left Delhi by pasting the notice at his residence gate. And then in the evening, Assam police has actually issued summons to 6 top Mizoram officials from Kolaship district. This includes the Deputy Commissioner of the district, this includes the SP of the district, additional SPs, and 3 other officials. So Kolaship is a district which shares border with Kachar district of Assam, and Vairangte in Mizoram is in Kolaship, whereas Lailapur is in Kachar of Assam, and it is between these 2 places that the disputed border area is there where the tension has taken place. So Assam police, the Dholai police station under which Lailapur falls, the case has been registered there, and they have been asked to appear at the Dholai police station on after they receive the summons. So clearly, Assam at this moment focusing on the investigation of this case, and acting tough, and they have summoned Mizoram Member of Parliament as well as top officials. This comes on the day when Mizoram actually issued a notice where it is said that the non-residents of Kolaship district are free to travel to Kolaship district, and also actually warned the locals not to harm the non-residents who are there in Kolaship district. Yesterday, remember, Assam had issued a travel advisory advising people from Assam not to travel to Mizoram, and also came up with a notice that all vehicles which would come from Mizoram towards Assam would be checked for illegal drugs. So clearly, Assam really hardening its stand at this moment in this case.
All right, Ratnadeep, thanks so much for joining us there with the very latest. And now from the northeast to Goa, where the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has said that his comments asking parents to introspect on allowing their 2 girls to spend the whole night on a beach after they were raped were taken out of context, while insisting the safety of citizens was his top priority.
It is the responsibility of the parents also, क्योंकि माइनर बच्चों को बाहर भेजते वक्त उतनी जिम्मेदारी उन लोगों ने भी लेनी चाहिए. बस मेरा यही कहना है.
The Chief Minister of Goa blaming parents of 2 minor girls who were raped on 25th July. Not surprisingly, there's been outrage. His party, the BJP, is backing him, but the statement hasn't gone down well with it either. Goa goes to the polls early next year.
अरे सीएम ने बोला है ना, वो स्ट्रिक्ट है, उसके ऊपर एक्शन हो गया, लेकिन उसने अपनी अंदर की बात बोली है, जो पेरेंट्स को नहीं भेजना चाहिए ऐसा भी. वो आपके अंदर की बात बोली है, इसका मतलब वो नहीं कि वो लोगों ने किसको भेजना नहीं चाहिए ऐसा.
Civil society has called for the Chief Minister's resignation.
This is not enough. The head of the state, the Chief Minister of the state, who is also the Home Minister of the state, chooses to go on an assembly floor, and when he is asked about, okay, what's your plan of action to curb crime against women, and it has been at a rise since quite some time now, and when he is asked for his plan of action, for his blueprint, he chooses to give a moral lecture to women. He chooses to give a moral lecture to the parents of the victim.
After the backlash, the Chief Minister says his comment was taken out of context. One of the 4 arrested the following day after the incident is a driver in the Goa government's agriculture department. The Goa Chief Minister is currently engaged in face-saving measures after the outrage. In Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.